The courtroom was packed long before the judge arrived, reporters lining the walls, notebooks open, tension hanging heavy in the air. Everyone knew who the defendant was. When Alyssa Grant finally entered, the murmurs grew louder. 18 years old, polished appearance, confident walk, the unmistakable posture of someone who had never been told no. The senator's daughter took her seat without acknowledging the bailiff. Scrolling on her phone like this was an inconvenience rather than a legal proceeding. Her attorney leaned close and whispered something urgently, but Alyssa waved him away with a bored sigh. Judge Judy entered moments later. All rise. The entire courtroom stood instantly. Alyssa remained seated. Judge Judy stopped mid-step and stared directly at her. The silence was sharp. Miss Grant, Judge Judy said calmly, stand up. Alyssa looked up slowly, unimpressed. Is that really necessary? Gasps rippled through the room. Judge Judy removed her glasses with deliberate calm. Yes, it is. Alyssa stood halfway, then sat back down. You know, I expected a federal judge. This feels small time. The courtroom froze. Even the reporters stopped writing. Judge Judy's eyes locked onto Alyssa's. What did you just say? Alyssa shrugged. No offense. I'm just used to higher levels. Her lawyer's face went pale. Alyssa, please, Judge Judy cut him off. Do not speak for her. She's speaking quite clearly for herself. Alyssa smirked. Relax. I'm just being honest. Judge Judy opened the case file. You are here for disorderly conduct, obstruction, and attempting to use political influence to evade a lawful citation. Alyssa laughed softly. That ticket was ridiculous. Judge Judy raised an eyebrow. You refused to provide identification. Alyssa leaned back. Because the officer didn't recognize my name. The courtroom murmured angrily. Judge Judy's voice sharpened. The law does not recognize names. It recognizes behavior. Alyssa scoffed. Tell that to my father. Judge Judy leaned forward. Your father is not here. Alyssa smiled thinly. He doesn't need to be. Judge Judy's gaze hardened. Stand up properly. Alyssa stood again, irritation creeping into her expression. Happy. Judge Judy replied evenly. We're just getting started. She turned to the arresting officer. Explain what happened. The officer spoke calmly. The defendant was stopped for reckless driving. When asked for ID, she laughed, made a phone call, and told me I'd regret stopping her. Alyssa interrupted. Because you would've. Judge Judy snapped. You will not interrupt again. Alyssa raised her hands mockingly. See? Small-time power trip. The courtroom went dead silent. Judge Judy stood. Chairs creaked as people leaned forward. You just crossed the line, Judge Judy said. Alyssa rolled her eyes. Oh, please. Judge Judy continued. You walked into this courtroom believing status replaces respect. Alyssa laughed nervously. I'm just saying, this isn't exactly impressive. Judge Judy's voice dropped dangerously calm. Sit down. Alyssa didn't. Make me. The room sucked in air. Judge Judy turned to the bailiff. Step closer. The bailiff did. Alyssa finally sat, eyes flashing. You're overreacting. Judge Judy returned to the bench. No, I'm correcting. She flipped a page. Do you understand what contempt of court is? Alyssa shrugged. A scare tactic. Judge Judy nodded. You're about to learn otherwise. Alyssa's lawyer stood quickly. Your Honor, my client apologizes if. Judge Judy cut him off. Sit down. The lawyer obeyed instantly. Alyssa scoffed. Wow, you really enjoy this. Judge Judy leaned forward. What I enjoy is order. Alyssa smirked. You're not used to dealing with people like me. Judge Judy responded without hesitation. I deal with people like you every day. Laughter rippled briefly through the audience before Judge Judy silenced it with a look. Alyssa's confidence faltered slightly. You can't do anything serious. I'm 18. And my father. Judge Judy raised a hand. Stop invoking your father. He is irrelevant. Alyssa snapped. That's not how the world works. Judge Judy replied. That's exactly how the law works. Alyssa crossed her arms. So what now? You give me a fine and feel powerful? Judge Judy nodded once. No, Alyssa blinked. No. Judge Judy spoke clearly. You attempted to intimidate an officer. You disrespected the court, and you continue to show zero accountability. Alyssa laughed. This is a joke. Judge Judy leaned forward. This is your warning. Alyssa waved her hand dismissively. Whatever. Judge Judy turned to the clerk. Enter a finding of contempt. The clerk froze for a second, then nodded. Alyssa's smile disappeared. Wait, what? Judge Judy continued. Additionally, your case is being referred for further review. Alyssa stood abruptly. You can't just do that. Judge Judy's voice cut like steel. Sit down now. Alyssa hesitated, then slowly sat. The room was silent enough to hear breathing. Judge Judy addressed Alyssa directly. 30 seconds ago, you told me I was small time. Alyssa swallowed. I didn't mean, Judge Judy interrupted. You meant exactly what you said. Alyssa's voice wavered. This is getting blown out of proportion. Judge Judy replied. By your behavior. She continued. You will pay the maximum fine. You will complete court-ordered community service. And you will issue a written apology to the officer you threatened. Alyssa shook her head. This is insane. Judge Judy leaned forward. We're not done. Alyssa's eyes widened slightly. Judge Judy added, given your repeated contempt, I am remanding you briefly to custody for processing. The courtroom went completely silent. Alyssa froze. Custody? Judge Judy nodded. Yes. Alyssa stood again, panic rising. You can't do that. I didn't do anything. Judge Judy replied calmly. You did everything. Alyssa's lawyer jumped up. Your Honor. Judge Judy shut him down instantly. One more word and you'll join her. The bailiff stepped forward. Alyssa backed away. No, this is ridiculous. Judge Judy didn't raise her voice. You are learning that power does not excuse conduct. The bailiff took Alyssa's arm. Alyssa's voice cracked. Call my father. Judge Judy answered evenly. He'll find out. Handcuffs clicked softly. Alyssa's face drained of color. This can't be happening. Judge Judy looked at her steadily. It is. Alyssa was led away as the courtroom remained frozen. No whispers now, no murmurs, only stunned silence. Judge Judy addressed the room. Let the record reflect that arrogance does not outrank the law. She banged the gavel. Court adjourned. Outside, cameras flashed as Alyssa disappeared down the hall. The words she had spoken replaying in her mind, the realization finally sinking in that influence has limits, and respect is not optional. As the doors closed behind her, the reality settled in with crushing force. The hallway felt colder, quieter, stripped of the confidence she had carried in moments earlier. Alyssa's breath came fast, her hands trembling as the bailiff guided her forward. Reporters shouted questions, but none of the words reached her anymore. Inside the courtroom, Judge Judy gathered her papers calmly, her expression unchanged. The message had been delivered. Power without respect collapses quickly. Outside, Alyssa finally understood what no one had ever forced her to learn before. Titles don't protect you. Names don't erase consequences. And arrogance, once exposed, leaves nothing behind to stand on. That silence she created in the courtroom followed her down the hall.